one more thing that we can remind people of is making that growth visible. So if agents, are wanting to leave your team, most of the time it's not because they're unhappy or you did anything wrong necessarily. It's just because they can't see a future with the team. They don't really know what the next step looks like, and they're going to start to look for somewhere else that next step will be visible to them. And that's why I love creating some sort of growth roadmap or a 30, 60, 90, or like here's a year's plan or something that you're just going to map out what growth on your team actually looks like.
Let's talk production, because obviously if agents on your team aren't producing, growth stops literally right there.
Absolutely. And, to get real around it, most agents, they know what to do. They know call your leads, follow up, set appointments, everything that they're hearing on a daily basis. But knowing and then actually doing it consistently are two very different things. And that's where the operations come in. We create that culture, that structure, the tools, the accountability process that makes that consistency doable. And one of the best places to start around production are, your smart list or those, call lists. Are they actually going to guide you to those right daily behaviors? If your agents are opening follow-up boss or whatever CRM you might be using, is there a list that says, these are the people you need to call today? Is it right in front of their face saying, hey, here's who's raising their hands right now. Here's who you should call. And if not, that's a huge gap. You would want those lists that remove those guesswork and drive action. So start with something like hot leads, needs calls today, and make sure agents know exactly where to focus.
We know that ultimately retention is where that long-term ROI is going to come from. And this is where I think that ops can really be the big difference maker. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the key to real retention is going to be making every agent feel known, seen, and then really just supported. Especially we're just in a fast moving, high expectation environment, like most of the teams out there right now. It's easy for agents to feel lost in the shuffle, especially when they're not the top producer, they're not getting the main focus. But it doesn't mean they can't be the top producer eventually. That moment agent feels like no one's paying attention to their progress or their struggles, they're going to start looking elsewhere. And that's why, just even a simple, like consistent check-in will go a long way. Even if it's just one personal conversation a week, 15 minutes, whatever you can give. And it doesn't have to be some sort of script or any formal meeting or formal agenda. It's really just asking, what's one thing that you're proud of lately? Like what's been going well? And what's an area that you feel stuck or maybe you could use some more support on? And then really what can we do as a team to better support you so you feel equipped to handle, those things that you're feeling stuck in, and also celebrating what they're proud of and their wins. And those three questions really are going to open up that trust, show that you're invested, and then often uncovered some issues, that you didn't know of before they even become a big problem. It doesn't have to be, super rigid or corporate feeling at all. It just has to be clear and visible. It should be something that you're talking about in onboarding, you revisit during the check-ins, and then you're celebrating when people are hitting those milestones, which having something like that is very rare in my experience of, hey, here's how we're going to get you to where you want to be. And it makes you really attractive to agents. So when an agent sees that progress and knows what's possible, they're going to stick, when agents see that progress and know it's possible, they're going to stick around a whole lot longer.